Alright, so now we have a basic bass and drum sketch running. I'm quite happy with it, but I want to elaborate on the bass with some effects. And I want to do it in a duplicate layer so that I have more control over how it sounds. What I mean by that is I'm planning to introduce some stereo reverb kind of effects, and I want to make sure that this does not interfere with the very low bass notes. So I'm setting up a second channel. I just copied it, and let's call it FX bass. All right. So let's solo all the basses. And like I said, I'm planning to do something stereo on here. So let me get rid of this EQ and just put a high pass in here for now. Great, so now they're just layered. And let's start out with some distortion. I like using the dynamic tube. Let's see if we can find a sweet spot. I'm just cycling through the modes to see what sound I like. The envelope is also a great feature because it tracks the incoming envelope and applies that to the distortion, so you can get a more dynamic sound out of it. Yeah, this sounds great. Subtle bit of distortion, it's nice to have. Let's introduce some delay. Already a great rhythm just with the dotted eighth. That's the default. But I'm bringing down the dry wet a bit. Just to be sure, I also high cut here again. And I really like this offset feature, so that the right and the left side are delayed to different timings, which gives a kind of fast effect, which makes everything sound super wide. I have to be a bit cautious with it, because it can be too much really fast, but I like the way it sounds now. Gives a great rhythm, great syncopation to the bass. Let's check with the rest. Definitely an improvement. So let's see what else we can do. I like using the hybrid reverb. Let's see if we can find a nice room for this. And I'm just cycling through to see for a texture, to listen if I can find a texture that I like. I think this one is good, so I will use it. Bring down the dry wet a bit because it's too much. And I want to tweak this as well, make it a bit smaller. Something like this, and the algorithmic one. I can just blend it like this and it already sounds good. So let's check with and without effects. It does a lot, immediately sounds better. I want to make the cutoff a bit smoother. Here like this. Let's bring this down maybe a decibel. And this whole bus could use maybe a tiny boost around here. Great. But we are running into some conflicts now with the kick drum. So let's set up a side chain right away. We'll put it after the EQ. Side chaining to the kick, which also, yeah, I'm considering setting up a kick group because later on I want to use another kick for high pass sections maybe. So it would be nice to have it in a group. That way the side chaining setup will not be messed up. So I have one here, just updating it. And here now I can use the kick group as a side chain. Perfect. Now it's just a matter of listening to which settings give me the right groove. Of course, this is way too strong. I think I will use peak mode for this. It's a bit more responsive, I feel. And I'm aiming for just the right punch, playing around with the release. Attack can be very short. I don't want to overdo it with the pumping effect. This goes a very long way. A super important step to making the sound nice. I just want to follow up with an EQ to get rid of the very lows. Way better integrated into the whole soundscape. I want to recheck the kick levels. Yeah, the level can definitely go up here. And now we have a nice groove going. I like this so far. So we are pretty fast. We have a solid bass and drum structure now. I think it is time to move on to some melodic elements. And then from that, I want to break out of the loopy production habit as fast as possible. But for now, I still want to gather elements that I can use, chord structures to build from. So yeah, this is the drum and bass structure onto the melodics.